3 years later, Liverpool haven't really found his replacement. Liverpool's problem is that we can't control the game. Now there is a 22-year-old at Crystal Palace. He might be the reason Gravenberch becomes the best number 8 in the Premier League. It's a new season with a new manager, but there is the same hole in this Liverpool midfield. Undercrop, nobody really noticed because the whole system was chaos by design. Press, win it back, sprint forward. You did need always someone controlling the game. You needed someone behind it doing the ugly work. Liverpool had him in Fabinho, but then he left. 3 years later, Liverpool haven't really found his replacement. Now there is a 22-year-old at Crystal Palace who Liverpool made direct contact for this summer. The price is around 80 million. And the biggest criticism I see on him is always the same. He's not a destroyer. He's not physical enough. What if we got the question completely backwards? Because Liverpool's problem under Iraola isn't that we can't play with intensity, it's that we can't control the game. And that's exactly what Adam Wharton does. But here's the part that's about to sound insane. Adam Wharton doesn't just solve Liverpool's biggest weakness. He might be the reason Gravenberch becomes the best number 8 in the Premier League. I know how crazy it sounds, but stay till the end because I'm going to show you why he actually does that. If you've watched the first few Liverpool games in pre-season, for example, that game against Leeds, you know what I mean. You know that the issue with Liverpool is not intensity in the first half, in the first few minutes. We always play with intensity, but the problem is when we actually lead the score, we don't have someone who controls the game in the second half. And even when we don't lead, we don't have someone who naturally controls the tempo of the game. If you've watched, again, that game against Leeds, you saw the second half, we were all over the place. Yes, you can use the fact that we changed all the starting 11 as an excuse, but I still think that it doesn't really fix the problem that Liverpool have, because again, Iraola wants to play aggressive, he wants to press high, he wants to attack high, and that's really exciting. But we have also one downside with that. When the game needs to be slowed down, settled, or controlled, Liverpool don't always have someone who dictates the game from deep. We truly lack a tempo setter, someone who can take the ball from the center back, receive under pressure, manipulate the opposition back, and receive under pressure when again it's necessary. Someone who can also accelerate the game with the progressive passes. We had that player in Trent Alexander-Arnold, but since Trent has left, who really does it with Liverpool? Again, I'm a firm believer that the player who plays the deepest midfielder is the one who dictates how a team plays its football. When do they go forward? When do they circulate? When do they slow the game? Look at, for example, Vitinha, how he does it with PSG. If I asked you one of the most important PSG players, you would probably name Vitinha in the top 3. If I asked you one of the most important players in the last 5 years, you would probably name Rodri. Look at the importance that Rodri had with Spain. He won the Euros with Spain being the best player. He won the World Cup with Spain being the best player. At the World Cup, he won a Ballon d'Or. It's not for a reason that Spain, even with a Lamine Yamal that's not really at his best, for example, the World Cup, they still won the World Cup. And that's why Adam Wharton is really interesting. Adam Wharton is not just a defensive midfielder that just sits in front of the defense. He's a controller. He's technically secure. He's press resistant, and he's also always progressive with his passes. He's comfortable drifting from possession from deep. He might not look like really an English midfielder. For me, I've always said that Adam Wharton plays like a Spanish midfielder. I was shocked at first when I saw him playing that he was English, a player like that. He makes me remember of, for example, a profile like Xabi Alonso, a profile like Busquets, controlling the game deep. And I think with how football is evolving, that type of player, that type of profile is exactly what Liverpool actually need right now. And for me, what makes Adam Wharton really special and the best compliment I can give him is not even his qualities. For me, it's that he understands the patience that the game needs. For me, he doesn't always force the game through ball progression. He doesn't always do forward passes. No, sometimes he understands rhythm, attacks, pressure, and then decides where the game goes next. And that's something Liverpool desperately need. And what I like about this potential signing of Adam Wharton is that hopefully that he signed is that it gives Liverpool and Antonio Herrera a profile that Liverpool really don't have in the team. You know, maybe the closest player we can say is Trey Naoni, but again, Trey Naoni is really young and he's still raw. Wharton gives you control because you can still play aggressively with him, you can still press, you can still attack vertically like how Iraola loves, but now there is someone behind in the attack who can actually manage the game, you know, and his value isn't when Liverpool only have the ball, it's also what his presence allows you to do. Because if your midfield knows that there is someone who's capable of receiving under pressure, circulate the ball, progress the ball, you can always play with more freedom. Imagine Ryan Gravenberch next to him, imagine Azobostai, imagine Florian Wirtz in that tenor with a profile like that behind him. And then there is this big misconception about his defensive game. Yes, he's not Caicedo. I'm gonna tell the truth. That's the truth. He's not Caicedo. He's not Mamadou Sangare, the player that I already made a video about Liverpool. Actually, the video that performed the best on this channel. You all liked it, but unfortunately, he moved to Brentford. But doesn't mean that Adam Wharton is incapable of winning the ball back. Adam Wharton can win the ball back. He can win duels. Again, he's not just an elite ball winner, but he still can provide defensively. He wins the ball really well, and the trade-off is that yes, he doesn't give you maybe that much defensively, but offensively going forward, then what he gives you in possession, again, is just a better trade-off, I find. Again, a midfielder who can control possession, dictate the tempo, and progress the ball really well while still being defensively competent. I think that's exactly the profile that Liverpool actually need. And this is where Adam Wharton signing becomes even more important. Again, I think Liverpool, rather than signing 3-4 wingers, I've seen that they were interested in signing, for example, Yakubu Mite, Gravenberch. I really think Liverpool should focus on one winger and a midfielder. I'd rather even prioritize, for me, a midfielder than a winger, because again, you have a lot of winger options at the club right now, but in terms of number 6, you don't have that much. Adam Wharton unlocks Ryan Gravenberch. He makes Ryan Gravenberch become better, because think about it, what do we want from Ryan Gravenberch? We want the ball carrying, we want the power, we want him receiving the ball, turning the back and driving through midfield. We want him breaking the lines with the ball at his feet, you know, but you can't maximize that potential if you're always asking Ryan Gravenberch also to be the number 6 and control the game and drop deep. You can't ask Ryan Gravenberch to do his ball carrying, to advance the ball while still also controlling the build-up, and that's where Adam Wharton changes everything. Put Adam Wharton next to him in the pivot and ask him to play deeper. Suddenly, Adam Wharton can control the game from the base of the midfield, and you can let Gravenberch attack the game. So Adam Wharton gives you the platform, and Ryan Gravenberch gives you the ball carrying, while the other extra midfielder, like for example Szoboszlai, if he's playing on the wide as a wide playmaker, or even Flo in the number 10, can focus on combining and attacking spaces and contributing more in the final third. And that's really the real argument for Adam Wharton. I'm not saying that he's the best number 6 in the world or in the Premier League. I'm saying that his particular skill set could solve a problem that Liverpool have had for the last 3 years, while also making one of your best midfielder even better, and even making his all other players around him much better. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Am I crazy to think that Adam Wharton should be our next 100 million transfer, rather than going to pay 130, 140 for Bradley Barcola, that I really rate, but I really think Liverpool need the midfielder and number 6 more than a winger. I'll make a video on a winger that Liverpool can sign that will cost nothing in my next video, but if you haven't watched, I think there is the Adam Wharton replacement signing for a player that can fill in that role really excellent, a player that has done it also in pre-season. I'll put the video here. If you haven't seen about Trey Naoni, go see him. It will explain you why Trey Naoni maybe on the short term can fix this role, but Trey Naoni again is really a young kid. You can't really ask Trey Naoni to do it on a whole season. I really think it would be nice if Liverpool bring in as someone who's more experienced, who has Premier League also seasons under his belt. So guys, I want to know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe for more football content. See you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.